Hi friends, in this video I am going to explain about the verification of Kirchhoff's current law. Okay, so to verify Kirchhoff's current law I am going to consider one problem, and with the help of that problem I am going to verify Kirchhoff's current law. Okay, so here verification of Kirchhoff's current law. Clear? So before that, what is the definition of Kirchhoff's current law? Yes. So the sum of incoming current must be is equal to sum of outgoing current at any junction point. For example, if this is the junction point, so if resistance R1 is connected like this, and here resistance R2 is connected like this, and here resistance R3 is connected like this. So this is the junction point, this is R1, this is R2, this is R3. If suppose I am going to apply some DC voltage to this particular circuit, that is for example VDC is equal to 20 volts I am applying, and here this is a closed path. Now circuit is grounded like this. Clear? Now the current flowing in R1 is I1, just assume. The current flowing in R2 is I2, and current flowing in R3 is I3. So as per the definition of Kirchhoff's current law, the sum of incoming current must be is equal to sum of outgoing currents at any junction point is called as Kirchhoff's current law. So from this diagram you can observe that I2 is the incoming current to this particular junction point, which is equal to, I1 is the incoming current to this particular junction point. So I1 is equal to outgoing current, sum of outgoing current means what? Current flowing through resistance R2 is I2 plus current flowing through this particular R3 is what? I3. Just see here, I1 is entering into the junction, but I2 and I3 both are leaving from the junction. So as per the definition of Kirchhoff's current law, just see here, the sum of incoming current must be is equal to sum of outgoing current at any junction point is called as Kirchhoff's current law. Clear? So now what I am going to do here, I will take one example and I am going to verify the Kirchhoff's current law. Yes, just see here. So for example 1 I am considering. Just see here, this is the DC voltage I am applying. VDC is equal to 10 volts, and here R1 resistance, here R2 resistance, and here R3 resistance. So R1, R2, R3. Now this is the junction point. Now here the amount of current which is flowing in resistance R1 is I1, and here I2, and this one I3. It means current flowing in resistance R1 is I1, and current flowing in resistance R2 is I2, and current flowing in resistance R3 is I3. Now to verify Kirchhoff's current law, so I1 must be is equal to I2 plus I3. So to verify this Kirchhoff's current law, just I am considering here R1 value 1 ohm, and here R2 is also 1 ohm, here R3 is also 1 ohm. Now see here, to verify Kirchhoff's current law, first we need to calculate the value of I1. For example, after calculating the value of I1, if I got the value of current is 10 amperes, then 10 amperes must be is equal to here I2 plus I3. So to calculate I2, so I2 is a current which is flowing through resistance R2 from the total current I1, because after this junction point we have two resistances and the value of resistances R2 is 1 ohm and R3 is also 1 ohm. It means what? The value of R2 and R3 both are same. That's why the current divided in the R2 and R3 must be same, because the current is divided in the R2 and R3. Both are divided equally because the value of R2, R3 both are same. Clear? Now see here, to find the value of I1, we have to take the parallel combination of R2, R3, because R2 and R3 both are connected in parallel. So that's why we are going to find the equivalent resistance of these two resistances. After getting the value of parallel combination of R2 and R3, now the equivalent resistance is connected in series with the value of R1. So to calculate the value of total resistance first, after getting the value of total resistance, then use the formula I is equal to V divided by equivalent resistance. So by calculating the value of R equivalent, you know the value, and here V is the applied voltage. It means what? 10 divided by the value of resistance, value of total equivalent resistance, whatever the value you are getting from this particular circuit. So that is the final value of what? R equivalent. So it means to calculate the value of I1, we have to do like this. But to calculate the value of I2 and I3, we have to use the rule. What is that rule? Current division rule. Because current is divided from the total current. That is what? I1. It means what? To calculate the value of I2 and to calculate the value of I3, we have to use the current division rule, because I1 is the total current, but I2 and I3 are the currents which are divided from the total current. That's why current is divided from the total current. Means what? We have to find the value of I2 and I3. We have to use current division rule. Clear? So we have to use the current division rule to calculate the value of I2. Here, for example, both the value of R2 and R3 both are same. That's why the current divided from the total current must be 5 ampere plus I3 is also 5 ampere. But how to find this 5 ampere and 5 ampere? Let's see. Clear? So here, just see here. Now first what we are going to do? Calculation of I1. This current is also we can call total current. Clear? So this is the total current, because this total current is coming from the source what? V. So that's why first we are going to find the value of total current. So total current IT, or we can also call I1, is equal to total voltage applied to the circuit divided by total resistance, or we can also call it as equivalent resistance. Clear? Now see, we know the value of VT. Total voltage is what? 10. So that's why 10 divided by, we don't know the value of what? R equivalent. So here we need to find the total equivalent resistance from the total circuit. So like this, just see here, first we need to find the value of what? R equivalent. Now supply is connected left side. Clear? So to calculate the equivalent resistance must be start from right side, because source is connected here. So that's why we have to start the calculation of R equivalent from right side. If suppose supply is connected right side, then we have to start the calculation of resistance from left side. So here just see, just observe the R2 and R3 both are connected in parallel. So both are connected in parallel means how to find the equivalent resistance of R2 and R3? Yes. So R2, product of R2, R3 divided by addition of R2, R3. Clear? So is equal to, so what is the value of R2? 1 into, what is the value of R3? 1 divided by 1 plus 1, that is equal to 1 divided by 2, that is equal to what? 0.5 ohms. So here the combination or the parallel combination of R2 R3 will give the value of what? 0.5. So that's why, so parallel combination of R2 R3 will give the value of 0.5 ohms. Now see here, just what I am doing here, the value of parallel combination of R2 R3 is 0.5. Now instead of these two, I am going to replace with the value of what? 0.5 ohms. Just see here, same. So this is R1 is equal to 1 ohm, and this one 10 volts applied, and here the parallel combination of R2 R3 means what? 0.5. So that's why this value is 0.5. Now see here, now R1 and the value of parallel combination of R2 will give the value of 0.5. Now both are connected in series. It means equivalent value, R equivalent is equal to, both are connected in series. That's why R1 plus 0.5. So that is equal to 1 plus 0.5 ohms. So that is equal to 1.5 ohms. So this is the total equivalent resistance from the circuit. So you know the value of applied voltage and you know the value of R equivalent. Now calculate the value of what? I1 or total current. I1 is equal to, or IT is equal to V divided by R total. That is equal to V how much? 10 divided by RT how much? 1.5. Now you will get, by solving this, you will get the value of what? Total current. So this is the procedure to find the value of what? Total current from the circuit. Clear? So the value of I1 is, will give the value of what? So 10 divided by 1.5 will give the value of I1. Clear? Now next step is, yes, next step is what? Calculation of I2 and I3. Now see here, now see, so the sum of incoming current to the junction point is clear. Now we need to find the value of what? I2 and I3. Now here calculation of I2. So calculation of I2 means what? The value of current I2 is divided from the total current I1. It means what? To calculate the value of I2, always we need to use current to division rule. So what is the formula of current to division rule? Total current into opposite resistance divided by total resistance. Clear? So total current to how much? Yes, by solving the value of 10 divided by 1.5 you will get the value of I1. So just to place the value of I1 here, I1 into opposite resistance. Opposite resistance means, so the total current I1 is coming into the point, junction point what? That is I1, and here from the total current I1, I2 is divided and I3 is divided. It means to calculate the value of I2, always the opposite resistance is R3, because we need to consider the divided currents only. Clear? So we are calculating the value of I2 means always opposite resistance is R3. If suppose we are going to calculate the value of I3, then always opposing resistance is R2, because the currents which are divided in only in these two branches of resistance. That's why we need to calculate, we need to consider the resistance values, opposite resistance value always R2 and R3. Clear? So now we are going to calculate the value of I2 means, so I2, to calculate the value of I2 we are using current to division rule. The formula of current to division rule is what? Total current I1 into opposite resistance means what? R3 divided by total resistance means we need to consider only these two resistances, because current is divided in these two branches only. Clear? So that's why R2 plus R3. So just to place the value of I1 and place the value of R3 is how much? 1 divided by R2 is 1, R3 is 1. So by solving this you will get the value of what? I2. Clear? So this is the second step. And third step is calculation of I3. Clear? So calculation of I3 means again same, we need to use current division rule to calculate the value of what? I3, and I3 is the current which is also divided from what? Total current I1. So clear? Just see here, calculation of current I3. So the value of current I3 is also divided from the total current I1. So that's why again we need to use the current division rule, because current I3 is dividing from the total current I1. So what is the formula? Total current into opposite resistance divided by total resistance, that is equal to total current. Yes, we are calculated the value of I1. Yes or no? 10 divided by 1.5 will give the value of what? I1 into opposite resistance means what? We are calculating the value of I3 means opposite resistance must be R2 only, divided by total resistance means addition of R2, R3. Clear? Now here substitute the value of I1 here, and value of R2 is 1 divided by 1 plus 1 will give the value of what? I3 here. Now if we are going to add I3 and I2, then you will get the current. Must be is equal to what? I1. So like this we are going to find the value of I2 and I3. Now I1, whatever the value, 10 divided by 1.5, this value is equal to addition of I2 and I3. Clear? So like this we are going to verify Kirchhoff's current law. Clear? So if you are satisfied with my channel, then please do subscribe and share with your friends. Clear? And also comment. Thank you so much.